Welcome to part 7 of your series, Love Notes for You, the leader who doesn't maybe want to admit she's fully leading just yet. Today, I want to talk to you about something that is really actually near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to try my best to articulate it without getting emotional because it is emotional for me. And it's the concept that free women create a free world. It's big. It's a really, really big frequency. That's part of my personal life mission and part of the reason why I do what I do. Now, what do I mean when I say free women create free world? What comes to your mind first before I go into what I'm about to say? So let's just give some numbers here. If 50% of the population is women, and that 50% was unburdened, unshackled, fully liberated, present in their body, present with themselves, free of the pressures of what it means to be a role, to be a woman, to be a good daughter, to be a good partner, to be a good business owner. If we freed ourselves from those pressures, how do you think the frequency on this planet would shift? I mean, it's so big when I think about it. Because if a free woman is living freely in this world, and by the way, free to be who she is, all of her, if she's free to be all of herself, then she's in presence, joy, inner peace, inner confidence. She trusts herself. She knows who she is. She's confident. She's secure. She doesn't need anything from anyone else. She chooses to collaborate and allow other people to support her and invite her into their world. She magnetizes opportunities because she's so present and in her body that she creates from a space of permission to be all of herself. And she is the one that's given herself that permission to be all of herself. Now, this is a bit heavy, but there are a lot of places on this planet where women still literally are not free. We live in a patriarchal world, and I'm not here to blame men, 'cause that's not really what I'm about. But I'm here to invite women to evoke self-responsibility and to find the ways that they can find their sovereignty in even the smallest of moments. And when I think about if 50% of the world where women were embodied with their hearts, their wombs, their intuition, and their emotions, how different this planet would look today. And I'm not talking environmentally or politically. I'm talking energetically how different the frequency of this planet would be if every single woman operated from an aligned heart space, intuition, womb space, and emotional intelligence. To me, that's a free woman. She's not questioning her value, her worth. She's living it. She knows she matters. She's free to be weird. She's free to be woo. She's free to be you. She's free to be me. She's free to be whoever she wants to be. Free, free, free. Freedom is such a catchphrase that so many women don't actually recognize that there's often a block that stops us from stepping into that level of liberation. And the discomfort in that is in order to create a free woman, you also have to be willing to have devotion enough, discipline enough, deconditioned enough so that there are spaces for her to play. What do I mean by that? Well, it's again finding the collaboration with our inner masculine. Because when we're only in play and free, yes, we can create from that space, don't get me wrong. Anything is possible. But to me, a free woman is the woman that is able to find her own alchemy within the masculine and feminine within herself. And as hard as it is to articulate fully, free women are not concerned with the pressure of society. And I think we think that's selfish. When in reality, when you're living your best life, you're not selfish. Not one bit. Because I get the pleasure of being in your frequency and your energy when you're feeling really good, and that feels really good to me to partake in that. So that everything in life is like a cherry on top to your already amazing life. What's stopping you from being free? What's a story you're telling yourself that's stopping you from being free? Maybe you're never allowed. Maybe it feels like too far of a dream. If it feels far away, I want you to look at the small decisions you choose every single day. Because for the most part, I think the women that would be listening to this have some capacity to choose. So choose and recognize your autonomy in that choice. And with autonomy comes freedom, right? Autonomy says, I know who I am. I am who I am. I get to be who I am. A free woman is a main character of her life. And a free woman frees other women. That's the part that's so exciting to me. I want to be that person that can invite you to let go of the weight on your shoulders, the weight of the world, so that you can actually create from overflow, so that you can attract from alignment. It's possible for you. Anything's possible. And for many of the women inside She For We, sometimes that feeling comes when they attend the She For We live calls. And maybe that's the only time that they've carved out for that of their business and to be seen and heard and had a space for them to really express themselves so freely. And that's much more than many other women in this world get. And how blessed are we? I'm so truly blessed to witness the women who are a part of She For We in their liberation journey. You know, I've witnessed women go from scared to be seen to every single damn day posting on Instagram. I've witnessed women in their heads trying to create a new business plan for every single idea that they have to now landing into the fact that they're a multi-potentialite and they can do all of it and it all makes sense together. I've witnessed women lose and then refind their spark. And these are all, like, every single step in this series is a path to your freedom. And just imagine how much change we could make just on our energy level. And I'm going to zoom in for a second, okay? So I'm going to give you a very real life example. If you've ever lived with a man, you know that how you feel changes how he responds. This is why I want to tell you that feminine leads often from emotions, okay? So if you're feeling off, you're going to notice your partner behave differently towards you. He might avoid, he might micromanage, he might try to step in and be extra helpful, he might try to please you, he might try to you know, combat you with another fight so that you kind of diffuse the situation. But your emotional tone sets the tone for the energy in your dynamic. So men are not always leading every single step of the way. Think about even how women are different in the sense of when they're ready to be hit on versus when they're not. Like think about the times, and I don't know if people still do this because maybe kids these days don't do this, but you've probably seen it in a movie or TV, like the version of a woman sitting at a bar by herself and her energy is closed off and she's not really looking for anyone to talk to her. And then all of a sudden a guy taps her on the shoulder and she has to and he's like slimy and gross. And the reason he's slimy and gross is because he didn't follow her body language. He didn't look for the cues to say yes. He didn't observe in her energy that she was open for communication and connection. This is why he comes off slimy. This is why most of the time that energy doesn't work. She's like, I don't really want you, and now you're coming into my space. Now, think about the different scenario. She's at the bar. I'm just using bar, but it could be restaurant, whatever scenario. And she's actually like looking around the room, making eye contact, and then she smiles. And maybe she moves her body to be more towards him. And she maintains eye contact with a smile. And this is an invitation for him. And he knows that that's a yes. And without any real need to get into the nitty-gritty details, typically that is more receptive. Why? Because she led energetically and emotionally. And then he knew that it was his role to do the next step, to come towards physically. Now imagine if women are frequency holders, if we are emotional holders, if we are the wise women on this planet, if we all live with a sense of liberation and freedom and we're truly in our bodies and loved fully and like we're just turned on by life every single day and also like feeling this immense sense of trust and inner peace within ourselves, like really close your eyes and imagine how different would this world look. We could do anything. We could do anything and it would inevitably create positive change. And I'm not asking for a matriarchal society. This is not a conversation about better, worse, good, bad, right, wrong. I'm talking to the women in the room. How can we unshackle ourselves from the stories that we've been told? Are they your beliefs? What is in the way of your freedom? I really want you to think about that. What is in the way of my freedom? And without blaming that thing or that person or that situation, how can you self-responsibly look at yourself as a co-contributor to that dynamic and then shift how you choose to see it and feel it and experience it? You get to be a free spirit if you choose. That choice is exactly the piece that makes you free. What do you choose? Check out the show notes below. And thanks for listening.